Hey, this is Seagrove, and I'm here today with a bunch of Bulus. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Alex, go ahead.
Hey, Alex Wilson. I play Rayquaza most of the time, but I'm giving up on that. I'm going to Dallas.
All right, Pram.
Hey, I've been playing for a while. I like Night March stuff. Night March is pretty broken. What's up?
All right, Azul.
Hey, what's up, guys? Azul GG. That much is okay.
All right. Jose.
Hey, what's up? It's Jose. I'm on Team ARG and I write for 60 Cards on Net. And I hate Night March.
All right. Well, let's start there. How good for Dallas? Night March obviously dominated the last expanded regional. Like, was it all? I mean, you guys are half of it. Was it all top four or three of the top four?
Three of the top.
Three of the top four were Night March.
Yeah, same 60.
But now people are talking like there's a couple Zoroark variants that may have an advantage over it. Is that true, or is Night March still that deck?
Night March is pretty flexible. Like you can kind of build the deck to like combat certain counters. You just have to know what counters are coming at you. So it's like half true.
I love how casual it is. It's pretty flexible, you know. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
I think even with the counters, you don't pull better than like 55 or 55-45. You have to play so much harder on the Night March side, where they just are like, if they hit their 2-card combo, they did it. All right, go Night March to see if you can pull off your 5-6 card combo or whatever,
Right.
or play properly until you can get to where you need to be. So I think everyone's gonna be well prepared for Night March, or more so than hit San Jose. They'll maybe even know the matchup better, which is a big deal as well. But I don't think all these counters and techs don't. You need them. You need them to play in the tournament because otherwise you'll just get bodied by Night March. But they don't make Night March dead.
Okay.
They just get you to about 50-50 to slightly favored.
Does anyone else want to talk about how good Night March is? I mean, we got our Night March boys already off it. Let me ask this then. For Night March, if I'm a new player and I want to play Night March, like in the past, people would say, I think a lot of people would say like, oh, you want to start playing Expanded, or you're getting into this is one of your first tournaments, just play Night March. Is that still the case, or is there just too much Karen, too much choreo for a new player to just pick up Night March and do okay with it?
There might be too much. It's hard to say how much is going to be there, but like, I guess if like they start practicing under the assumption like, hey, they can kind of like goldfish hands and be like, hey, I'm going to get Karen'd the next 3 turns. Can I still take knockouts? And if not, can I play properly around that? Then, yeah.
Okay.
I would say no. I would say don't play Night March. Just like it. There's a certain level of play to get Night March to be able to beat those on a certain level, and then there's another level of play when you play against a good player playing the counters.
Yeah.
Like that, if you're not going to get the practice it against like a just above average player playing Night March counters, you're not going to be able to like make day 2. So it depends on what your goal is, I guess. If your goal is to make day 2, win the tournament, and you're a newer player, go with something a little more streamlined, a little bit more straightforward that isn't being as hard teched against, and that you would have more time, or you don't need as much time to be able to prepare for the techs and counters against better players.
Okay. So just the high amount of counters make it a harder deck to perform well with now, when as before it's just like it's Night March. It's hard to play before, but you could do well at like playing it at 70%. I feel like, but I agree. I don't think that's really the case anymore.
It depends how far back you go. It used to be just it took no skill to play Night March. It was super straightforward, and you just compressor till you one shot, and then you started one shotting, and that was it.
Sounds like my kind of deck. All right, so the other deck was Rayquaza. Alex, you can start, and then we'll go to Jose. Alex, talk to us about Rayquaza.
It's dead.
Okay, I talked to you about it in what was it? The one in Florida. I don't remember where it was. And
Daytona?
yeah, Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you if it was because of Sudowoodo, and you said it wasn't. Sudowoodo wasn't the problem. You said Necrozma was the problem. Is Sudowoodo the problem now, or what's the problem now?
Now that every single person and their mother is playing Sudowoodo to counter Zoroark, yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Okay. What about aren't Zoroark decks playing Muck now? Is that gonna slow down the Sudowoodos or no?
No, still every deck is playing Sudowoodo. I'm pretty sure to counter Zoroarks.
All right. Jose, anything to add to that?
Well, Muck destroys Rayquaza either way. Like,
True.
you can't use Shaman or
Everything beats Rayquaza. That's that.
So yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, and plus all the Zoroark decks, just Zoroark even just beats Mega Ray. You get the Mind Jack and the
Standard.
the other one, Outplay. They can like copy your Emerald Break.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Ding dong. It's dead.
I mean, if you want to feel good, though, still play Rayquaza. Just saying Emerald Break is so satisfying.
I told myself, but I told the world, if it feels good, do it.
You just have to like hold on when you go up against a little electric bug, and you're like, oh please don't.
Well, just play Toad Karen, and you're fine.
I mean, what you could do, you could like Toad and drag up Sudowoodo and two-shot it, but once you attack with Rayquaza, they can just get it back.
With two-shotting Sudowoodo's your plan, that's like...
I mean, pretty much. It's like you're only out.
Yeah. All right, so it's dead. So I wrote a list of decks I want to talk about, and almost half of them have Zoroark in it. And I'm almost tempted to just lump them all together, but I think they're different enough. Last thing on Night March, you are still playing Zoroark Night March, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We still have to play Zoroark in it. It's too good of a Toad counter, too good of a Trevenant counter, and it's just a great attacker to boot. So.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I would throw out is that I haven't tested enough with it. I tested a little with it, but Maxie's Night March has some merit right now because of you got Machoke, Marowak, Gallade. I haven't even the initial list I even tested didn't even have Gallade in it because I don't think you really need it. But just actually Machoke and Marowak, and then you put a Rangaroo back in for some draw support. But it's like I haven't tested it enough. Obviously, you'd prefer to play Zoroark, but if you're trying to beat stuff like Oricorio and like Toad more consistently, it's pretty good overall.
Okay.
So I think there's a little bit of work to Night March without Zoroark.
Okay. So I think the most hyped Zoroark right now is Lawn Zoroark. Jose, what is Lawn Zoroark?
That's basically just straight Zoroark with Muck with a Toad tech.
Okay. Is that the best? Is that the best variant of it? Of Zoroark?
A Zoroark? I mean, not personally. No.
Okay, let's go around. Everyone, I want to know what you think is the best. So, Jose, you go first. What's the best?
Right now, I still think Zoroark Lycanroc.
Okay. Azul?
Yeah, I think Zoroark Lycanroc. I actually think Lawn Zoroark's the worst.
Okay.
I think Zoroark Lycanroc's the best.
Alex?
It's Lycanroc version. I think Toad Zoroark is the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that one too.
Bram?
I like Toad Zoroark the most.
Hey! All
We
right.
can get into that next. I was going to say, yeah.
Let's talk about that. Bram, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just Slurpuff Toad, but like with Zoroark. So, you get your laser Verbanks in there. You put puzzles in there, and it kind of like recreates the trump card effect. It's just like strong. I mean, like all you're doing is just attacking them, and then you can you have like open bench space for things like Sudowoodo, and just like a lot of decks just play too many items right now. So Toad is just really strong versus that, and you just run like a bunch of E-hammers. So like you run them out of DCE. They have to have a Ranger in their deck. I mean, so I guess if you play appropriate counters, you can get through it. But I think the deck is really strong.
Are you playing like poison stuff? Like lasers, or is it?
Laser Burbank, I think, is the best combo.
And then do you play? I mean, are the Zoroark just there for draw? Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you
late
you
game?
can go in with Zoroark at any point, and like you can use lasers as a damage modifier for your Ritus beating. But like you can run things like Shadow Triad to get laser back. You can run things like Lusamine to get Shadow Triad and Burbank back. Dude, I know it's slow, but like it's the slow burn. Like you just kind of like you're just like slowly quaking punching them until you win. And I think that strategy is like never wrong. It's never just wrong to do that. So
Okay, why is Zoroark Lycanroc better than that, Jose? You seem to like both. Jose, you seem to like both of them, that and Zoroark Lycanroc.
Well, I don't know where. Well, Zoroark Toad originated. I think it might have been from Florida because the last two the last two League Cups I did in Florida expanded. There were a lot of Zoroark Toad.
Okay.
In the first one, there was like back-to-back League Cups expanded, and on Saturday, that deck ended up winning. Toad Zoroark ended up winning that one, and then so the next day I was like, all right, people want to play that deck, so I played Galissapod. Zoroark again. I had lost in top four the day before.
Okay.
It was different to Buzz Lycanroc, but so I played Galissapod again, and 3 rounds of Swiss. I played three Toad decks. I beat them all. Then top 8 and the finals, I played against Toad Zoroark. I beat them.
Nice.
I played a bunch of them. So in Florida, there was a bunch of that deck. So I'm not sure if we kind of popularized it or not, but I know the deck's pretty good. And I expect a lot of it to be in Dallas.
You mentioned Zoropod. It's also seems to be doing pretty well. John Ang likes it. He did pretty well with it. What are the merits of that, and why'd you choose Lycanroc over it?
Well, Lycanroc, just because the ability and the GX attack pretty much is just knock out whatever you want. I think Galissapod could be like a good under the radar deck that can do it really well, even though only one was in top 16 in San Jose.
All right.
But what do you guys tell me? Where'd you know about Toad Zoroark? Like,
Well, Pram says he likes it, but the other two said they don't. So why is it bad,
Well,
Alex? Why is
I didn't.
well, I mean, where
consider
did you hear it from? Like,
Oh.
how'd you know?
Oh, it definitely came from Florida, but everyone
Okay,
knows
yeah,
about it now.
yeah.
It's literally
That's what I
all
was
over.
wondering.
Yeah, it's like all over PTCGO ladder right now. It's like the biggest deck on PTCGO
Okay,
right
yeah.
now. I almost don't consider that a Zoroark variant though. Like it is, but then is Night March also a Zoroark variant?
right?
Like,
I mean,
That's
it
like a-
is, 'cause there's a 3/3. It's like a 3/3 Zoroark in there.
It's a toad.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like a thick line, thick
Yeah.
enough line.
but people are running 3/3 Zoroark and Night March now too. So it's like, where do we draw the line
Yeah, I
between
think
everything
that's-
just being
I
a
think that's
Zoroark
you.
variant?
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like,
I think
no,
that's
I
you're
guess at that
just
point,
saying-
Is it a Lele
You can
variant?
play a 4/3.
it's
I guess
That's
at that point, do you even consider Galissapod to be a Zoroark variant? I mean, like anything that like not running Skyfield, is that a Zoroark? I mean, like
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would consider that more a Toad variant personally. But if I had to rank it in Zoroark variants, it'd be like below Galissapod and Lycanroc, but above Lonzoro.
Okay. Alex, why didn't you like it?
I was testing all the other Zoroark variants before that one, and I started testing it this week. And every single game is just super slow. I fall behind. I think my problem might have been I'm trying to use Zoroark too much to attack rather than Quake and Punch. But
Oh.
That's a big problem. What?
yeah.
I exclusively use like unless it's like the last prize, I'm exclusively
Like,
using
I have
Quake and Punch.
lasers and hammers. I'll just go with Zoroark.
Yeah. I also run Fighting Fury Belt because I think that card's really good in that deck. Just having the extra HP is a big deal.
Yeah. You pretty much attack with Toad unless you just like have a 2-turn lethal of like Zoroark kill into Zoroark, Guzma Lele, Choice Band, Laser kill, Laser Bank kill. Otherwise you just sit there and attack with Toad.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zoroark Galissapod, would any of you all take that to Dallas?
Yeah. I mean more likely than the other two. For sure.
Definitely my top 2 right now.
I can see it with the high. Like,
You can't
it's not a
run-
bad deck.
Okay.
Yeah, just all basically based on Toad hype. And the deck's The deck's just good. It's nice to have an alternate attacker to Zoroark. And like Lycanroc, and when you look at like the Lycanroc deck, it's not a consistent alternate attacker because you can't like Ace or Rolla chain it. You get your like GX attack off, but then you don't have much past that that's like super consistent. And I mean, it doesn't get punished by Enhanced Hammer, which is super nice. I think can be super nice headed into Dallas specifically, even though it's expanded. Like Enhanced Hammer is a huge thing in Standard right now, and like every deck plays at least 2 Enhanced Hammer pretty much in Standard. But like in Expanded, it's a little bit different. We haven't really seen a ton of Enhanced Hammer Expanded, but I think that's going to change. I think we're going to see a lot more Enhanced Hammer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because the new Trevenant with the 4 Enhanced Hammers, if you're playing Galissify, you have at least 3 basic energy. So if you get 2 grass on a Zoroark, woo, good game.
It gives you more options for sure.
Yeah,
which is good.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what about Broken Deck and Expanded Trevenant? Basically, whatever Cena likes at the moment is Broken Deck now. Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about Trevenant and Expanded? Is that Cena keeps telling me it beats Trevenant more than 50% of the time. I mean, it beats Zoroark more than 50% of the time.
Sure, but not by like a significant margin.
Yeah.
The matchup is at best 55-45.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could say it beats it more than 50% of the time. It could be 51%. So.
So if it's beating Zoroark more than 50% of the time, why is that a top contender for the tournament?
I mean, I wouldn't. But the 50% is like 5%. I wouldn't count that as a reason to play a deck.
Yeah, and also just kind of get like it has a pretty bad Toad matchup.
Toad is rough.
Yeah, because you just Quaking Punch them, and then like that version isn't running like Flare Grunts, so you're just like your Quaking Punches just get through. You can cycle your items through. If you ever get a Hex Maniac down, like the game is over. There's just a lot for them to get over through Toad.
Okay.
And I don't think you can like try and build it with Flare Grunts and stuff because I think you have to build it as consistent as possible to be able to keep up with Zoroark at all. Like you have to be playing like 3 Rescue Scarfs and stuff like that in the current.
Which Toad variant are we talking about?
The only one.
Yeah, Toad Zoroark.
Oh, Zoroark. Okay. Well, I mean, there's Toad Tina, I guess, but
Yeah.
sort of. I was gonna say that gets destroyed by Trevenant.
There's not Totina.
No, there's no Toad
There's
Team.
not another variant.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you about this. Totina's out, so what about Miss Magius? I don't know how to say that Pokemon. I didn't even know that was a Pokemon until
You
last
said
time.
it right. You only say it how I say it.
Okay.
Miss Magius? That's how I say it. Yeah.
Okay. Is Miss Magius any good?
It's a lot to set up.
It's not. It's baby damage.
Yeah, I don't think anymore because everyone should be playing Ranger. I think every deck that plays Zoroark or every Night March deck should be playing Ranger. Every Zoroark deck should be playing Ranger pretty much. So I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
Well, not if it's like Galissify, you don't need Ranger.
So what?
It would,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it would have been good like for San Jose because no one was running Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
But like now it's like everyone knows, like everyone's like, trying to like combat Toad. So
Okay. So Toad's the reason for Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just taking like collateral damage from it, and like I mean that's the cool thing about the Zoroark Toad deck is it doesn't lose to Ranger, like because like you have like I don't know, you have so much going on, like you have so much consistent draw that you can like keep up even if they Ranger.
What about fighting variants? Alex, what's your favorite fighting variant?
I guess Buzzwole.
Is that Buzzwole Lycanroc, or are you talking about like Buzzwole Garbodor?
Buzzwole Lycanroc.
Okay.
I haven't tested Garbodor.
Okay. What would you consider playing it for Dallas, and what if so? What matchups are good for it?
Obviously, like Zoroark is easy bait for it. I'm not really sure how does like Zoroark Lycanroc or Zoroark Galissapod fare against Buzzwole decks?
One shot.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. That was like
Should be a good matchup for Buzz if they don't run, if you're not running Mew.
yeah. It should be overall good. Their out is like one shot a Buzzwole, but I think Buzzwole should be playing Focus Sash as well, so that's like hard. It's like really awkward for Zoroark ever to do anything.
You can also
It's a
run.
deck I'm definitely gonna test.
You can also run Wildlands.
Hey, that's savage.
I mean, it's not bad. You can.
One of the expanded League Cups I played in, Buzz Lycan was still really good and expanded, but he didn't play Focus Sashes though, like the ones that I've seen. But they were running Wipe Lines, so I got destroyed one game. And we just didn't have the rules. And then top 4, I lost to Buzz Lycan because I forgot that you can first impression with Mew EX. Yeah,
There it is.
the whole time I'm trying to ride his beating, so he's knocking out all my Zorul, and then I'm like, wait a second, I guess it's Grass Energy, first impression. And like, bruh, I like spaced out, I lost. And then I won the next day, so we're good. We're good. I made it work.
Okay, what are there any other fighting variants that you guys like? What about Zygarde, Bink, or whatever?
Nope. Go ahead.
I guess Groudon's pretty good.
What's good?
Maybe Groudon, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Groudon would be like a better fight.
Okay. Is Groudon back? I've seen people talking about it. Tropical Beach is
the only
going
thing
up.
I have about Groudon, issue about Groudon, is Lycanroc. Like if you don't have Wobbuffet active, then Lycanroc can just drag it up.
Yeah, and the Wobbuffet kind of shuts down Zoroark a lot, so it's not bad. You just do the like classic Groudon play, stall the game out, tank a Groudon, put a Focus Sash on it, scramble switch out. Classic.
Easy peasy.
It's not bad.
I don't think it's any better than it has been, and that's me saying because I think Groudon has always been pretty terrible as far as decks go.
Okay.
So I don't think it's better than it has been. Like I don't even think it probably has that good of a Zoroark matchup. They just one shot so fast, and then you'll come up, kill 2 Zoroarks, and they'll end you, and you won't. They'll end you and hit you with a Lele, and you won't like find a stadium or something. They're like Zoroark's so fast, like. It's so easy for them to be like turn 1 Bridget into even if you're under Wob, like, turn 1 Bridget into turn 2, because you can still get Lele under Wob even. So you can turn 1 Bridget into turn 2, start one shotting Wobs. Like you just get way too far ahead. If you ever bench a second Groudon, like you'll probably get the first Primal safely, and you ever bench a second one, it's just dead. Like I don't see how it ever lives. Like or he lives a hit at least. They should be able to easily hit it for sure, and like put it in such an awkward spot that you can't deal with that. But yeah.
All right. What about Sableye? Where's Sableye stand in all this? Pram, you were considering it last time. What are your thoughts on Sableye?
Zoroark's too good, dude.
All right. Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you just can't like you have to get like your ability lock out. You have to hope they don't have a Floodstone or any way to deal with it. You have to hope they don't knock it out.
Right.
And then you finally lock them, and then you have to hope they don't just win the game by then.
I think the funniest part about it is it's actually pretty easy for Zoroark to Ghetsis lock Sable Garb out of the game because of Puzzle. You can literally sit there and Ghetsis them every single turn until you win, and it's actually not hard. That's why I love Sable Garb, because it can just get Ghetsis out of the game really fast. And every deck should be playing Ghetsis, so
Yeah.
What about? Let's see. We haven't talked about Gyarados. Ahmed did really well with it, and now I don't understand that. I don't mean to be rude, but like, it seems like it's just a worse Night March. Am I wrong about that? What's? I guess it lives Oricoria. Well, no, it doesn't because of the magic card. Like, yeah, I don't know. Talk to me about Gyarados.
It just like kept its discard clean, so it couldn't get Oricorioed.
Okay.
If you like, it kind of gets collateraled really hard by Toad, like really hard. So I don't think it's that good anymore.
Okay.
I mean, sure you could Ranger, but then it's like your deck is just has so many items. It's kind of like clunky compared to like a Night March deck if you're under item lock. Because you don't have like access to Zoroark, so you don't. Yeah.
I think Ahmed did pretty well because like Guardy was pretty popular or decently popular, and it's got a good Guardy matchup, and also not everyone was running Ghetsis.
Mm-hmm.
Ghetsis just destroys. You just kill the artillery and it gets them every turn. Doesn't matter what you send up or how many prizes they draw. Like, as long as they don't win the game literally, and then you just get to something, you're probably gonna win. Because the deck has an insane amount of items to get, and it needs them to get going and sustain. Stretchers, dive balls, ultra balls, like so many things. Puzzles to sustain. It has no draw except for like the 1/1 artillery. So if you kill that or they don't get it out, and then you just get to chain them, you should win. But yeah, I think he did well. I think it was a decent meta call overall for San Jose. Guardy was pretty popular, and then not every Zork was running Getsus. So it was definitely decent for that tournament. I would not recommend it for Dallas though.
Okay. Jose, what are your thoughts on Whale Lord? Do you agree with Pram? Is it playable?
Now, I hope people play because I'm gonna play Galicipods, but I'm gonna say it's the best deck in the world. Everyone play Whale Lord, please.
Is Whale Lord weak to grass?
Yeah,
it is. It is in fact weak to grass, and you can in fact do 300 damage to a Whale Lord with first impression.
Yeah, that seems troublesome. So Pram, can you defend that?
Yeah, I mean, like, it depends, like, on how their deck is handled for Whale Lord. Like, for example, Drew, he beat John Eng in day 2, and it was Gallicipod Zord versus Whale Lord.
Right.
So, like, depends on how it's built. But otherwise, the matchup it's like close-ish. Just because, like, at its core, you know, you only have like 7 energies, and like if you're not one-shotting, then you're losing your energy. So.
All right, but for real, you're not playing Whale Lord, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's in my like top 5.
Okay, when the day on the day before Dallas, you're not gonna see the Whale Lord.
I can't commit like that.
All right. Gardevoir. Alex, what are your thoughts on Gardevoir?
I wouldn't play it, but I definitely expect to hit one within the first few rounds. The Zoroark matchup, it's okay, but it's not as consistent. Well, it's not consistent like at all, really, I guess. And without Zoroark's getting trades. They're drawing more. You're not drawing anything with Gardevoir.
They're playing 2 Gallade, right? And artillery, or no, a Rangaroo, I guess.
I guess so.
And then
this was not the deck to ask about. To ask me.
Okay.
I can answer. If you
Go
want
for
me
it. Yeah, go for it.
to. Don't play Guardy. Zorg should be playing Hex, and just like Get This Chain, they can actually just Hex Chain you out of the game, so where you can't win.
Why does Hex hurt Guardy so bad?
They just don't do enough damage. And if they ever go Giant Guardy, you can foul play, return it. You just sit there and Hex. Like Hex early game, like they need artillery or a Rangaroo, some kind of little extra draw to ever get anywhere. And then you can do stuff where they go 1 energy Guardy hit you for 90, you go Hex hit with a fresh Zoroark or something. And then if they want to get a 1-shot to go, they can't even get that anyways. They go DCE choice band. No, yeah, so they just can't get 1-shot. So like, and you can't really run heavy healing in Expanded because you have to be more consistent in Expanded than Standard in Guardy, so you don't have a ton of healing.
Okay.
So you just sit there and hit at each other. They're just gonna hex you out of the game, or they should be able to hex you out of the game. Like, I don't know. It's just not good. The deck is like, I feel like the deck is very forced in Expanded. Like it just doesn't fit with how Expanded is right now, and I don't think the deck can keep up. It's just very forced. Like there's decent players playing the deck, so that's gonna help it get to the places where it is. With the placements it's had, but like I feel like it's very forced as a deck and Expanded. It's just not. It's not worth it. It's not good enough. It's not fast enough, consistent enough.
I take it Garbodor and Necrozma's still dead because of Zoroark.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Garb is very good. I think the right partner for Garb is still unknown, though.
Okay.
I mean, like Tapu Lele promo has to come out for that deck even to come back.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, like until that card comes out, that deck is just like it just gets overwhelmed by Zoroark.
Okay. So I'm gonna go around with 2 last questions. Pram, why don't you start? What's the best deck that we haven't talked about yet?
The best deck we haven't talked about.
Or-
Well, I mean, we've gone through my top 5. But
Okay,
like,
that's what I'm going for. Is there
but-
anything big we haven't talked about yet?
I mean, not really. I mean, like, I guess the most fringe one I can think of is like Garbodor, Buzzwole. But like, we kind of went over Buzzwole a little bit, but just because like, it's the big basic deck, right? It's like Garbodor and big basics. It's like it's never terrible,
Right.
and you can certainly get there with Karinas and Buzzwole. So.
Okay.
And you can do a mix of like Buzzwole, Landorus, because they're the same card.
Right, and they have different weaknesses.
Yeah.
Throw Zygarde in there for good measure. Alex, what's the best deck? Are there any good decks that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
Quiz is pretty good. We've talked about that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we talked about that.
we mentioned it.
How about Donphan?
Okay, how about Donphan?
It's got a good Zora matchup, I guess. Spending turn does what, like 40 damage, right? 40 base?
Yeah. 40.
I should have a really good matchup. Okay.
So, strong energy, choice span, that's 90, 180.
Got that kooky or no?
I don't know. I haven't tested
Put
it.
down some Ready Rocks.
Yeah,
There you go, Regirock.
Yeah.
go
Usually,
into
you need, like,
Wob.
what, 2 down?
Yeah, you need 2.
Would you even play Robo-Sub still, or no?
I think you have to go into Wob. I feel like you would
Yeah,
go
stop
into
them
Wob.
from using trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Even then, I don't know if you'd beat Zora. You don't one-shot it like conveniently enough.
They just come up with their Seismitoad or a Golisopod.
Yeah, and they just like, okay, cool. You hit my Zora for 180. He's gonna go to the bench now. You want to Guzman? Go for it. Like, it's rough. It's rough for the non-fans.
Okay. Azul, what's the best deck we haven't talked about? If there's anything good left.
I don't know. There's not much good left. I don't think. Like, there's Zoric variants, Night March, and then there's the stuff like Whale Lord, Sable Garb stuff. Outside of that, I just don't really think there's much to go with right now. Outside of that,
Okay.
I guess Toad Garb. We didn't mention Toad Garb, but it's like, I don't think it's a worse Toad deck than Zora Toad, but it's like more coin flippy in the sense that you have less control of the game and you're giving your opponent less control of the game. So it's like it's like more coin flipping in the terms of once the ends and stuff start hitting, it's like, oh, who drew better off the ends and stuff. But you kind of do the similar things. You have a little more energy denial probably. You probably play like heavier flare grunts and stuff, but it gets more coin flip because you both have less control over the game once the ends start hitting. So yeah.
Okay. Jose, I feel like you got something for me. No.
No, Toad Garb. I was gonna say Toad Garbs. I actually did well. One of the league ups I went to.
Okay. No shock lock.
I forgot what it lost. What it lost in top 8. I can't remember what it lost.
Was there shock lock in top 8? Or Toad Garb?
Toad Garb.
Oh, okay, I was like, what?
Wait, what is the other one?
Don't worry about
Shock lock?
it.
Yeah, what was that?
It involves a
He
big
doesn't
dog.
even know what the deck is.
It involves a big dog and a little mouse.
It's Stoutland Raichu. It's Ross and the X-Files deck.
You don't. It's
I
okay.
don't know.
It's
He
okay.
doesn't even know.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Like, you don't really need to know.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's,
Yes, actually, I agree.
I
It
probably
took,
did know that, but I didn't know that was like expanded.
yeah. It took Sam Chan and Ross out of contention for day 2. So.
Yes, it did. It did take them out for day 2. You were right.
Those players can't even day 2 with it.
Yeah.
No, let's just put it to the side.
I was so interested in it when I first saw it, and then I was like, wait, Sam and Ross didn't make day 2 with this, so this is not happening for me. Yeah. All right, last question. Best deck that you're definitely not playing. Azul, why don't you start? Best deck that you're definitely not playing.
Trevenant.
Jose.
I was like Trevenant.
Pram.
I've actually tested a lot of Trevenant, but
Buzzwole.
Buzzwole.
Yeah.
Alex.
Rayquaza.
I knew you were gonna say that.
No, definitely Trevenant. Trevenant's a good deck, but I'm not touching it.
So why is no one playing Trevenant?
I'll play Trev. I don't mind.
Why are you guys against Trev? It's Kika called it what do you call it? Theme deck. It does 30 damage every turn. What's wrong with it?
I think it's like really easy. Like if you draw slightly, when that deck does draw like slightly awkwardly a lot, it's really easy for good players to expose that. So that doesn't come up a lot in testing because you're not playing against a tier 1 player every single game. But when you do, you draw slightly awkwardly, and I feel like it's just really easy for good players to expose that. And then on top of that, I think Tina Promo will show up for Trevenant because I think it's a major threat heading into Dallas, and I think some people are just going to play Tina Promo.
What about Greninja? We didn't talk about Greninja. We don't need to talk about Greninja. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw it on your faces. All right. Okay, so let's go around and do shout-outs. Thank you guys for your time. Alex, what shout-outs you got?
Check out my articles on 60 Cards, Rare Candy Games, my sponsor, and Facebook, Twitter. That's about it.
What's Rare Candy Games? Is that a store?
candy
It's
shop.
an online, candy shop. It's a guy starting an online store.
Okay. Pram.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. Thanks to ARG for sponsoring me. They've been treating me well. And if you see me at an event, just come say hi. It's always nice to see you guys. Yeah.
Jose?
Same thing as Pram, except check me out on 60 Cards where I write. And my Twitter, I think you're gonna put it down below. And I'll see y'all in Dallas in a couple weeks.
Azul?
Yeah. Shout out to CCG Castle, ccgcastle.com, TC Evolutions as well. Check out my Twitch. I'm trying to stream like almost daily except for weekends when I'm at tournaments, which is Azul GG, twitch.tv/Azul GG. My Twitter's down there. Feel free to follow me on that. And then, that's it. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for your time, and thanks everybody for watching. Good luck in Dallas.
All right. See y'all.